my hog islands need some maintenance. I had one shed here, and I've got another that needs a cage cleaning. They happen to be one of my favorite localities of Boa. They're definitely right up there at the top. So I figured we can get a few pictures and some videos of them and tell you guys a little bit about them. So here is Belle. She's hungry, like always. She just shed. Now she just ate about a week ago, so she's not starving like she'd like you to believe. But this is her. She's a year old. She eats good. I noticed that these little hog islands, at least the ones that I own, they have a really good feeding response. I've noticed a little bit of differences with these versus, you know, Colombians and other localities. These guys seem to be, in my opinion, a little bit more flighty. They seem to be a little bit more jumpy. They seem to have a little bit better feeding response. They even tend to seem like they come out of the box with a little bit more of a pissy temperament. They do calm down real good though. As you can see, she's a little jumpy. And I don't see this as much with my other localities and stuff that we own. But I do love their colors. I do love their color changes, and I really like their attitude. I really like, you know, the overall of this snake. So you can get some pictures of her here. I think she's looking pretty good today after her shed. And like I said, she's just over 12 months old. So I think that she's growing pretty good. And here's her shed, one piece. This is something that, you know, I've talked about in other videos. You know, this is something that all my snakes down here do is these one-piece sheds. And like I said, that's got a lot to do with just good husbandry. You know, these snakes are supposed to shed in one piece. It's how they're designed to get rid of their skin. And with good husbandry, I haven't never found this to be a problem. So this is Belle. A little bit about her cage. She's in a Rubbermaid. The Rubbermaid's very basic. She's got a water bowl here. I put air holes in the sides and the back and the front. It's just locking lids. You know, these things can be found at Walmart for about $8 a piece. And they work great. You know, knock on wood, I've never had an escape. I've never had one escape. I've never had one get out. You know, the lids just snap on. And that's what we keep our smaller snakes in, is just something like this. And then over here, if you look at where her rack is, you know, once again, this rack was bought at Walmart. We found this thing on clearance. I don't remember exactly what we paid for it, but it wasn't too much. You know, once again, Zoom Med heat pad on the 1/3 of the warm side of the cage. It's plugged into the thermostats down at the bottom, and that's it. You know, and this is what she will stay in until she upgrades to one of these Iris 175s.
Alright, well, I'm going to show you the other hog island we have here. Her name is Padruga. She is in a slant bag Neodesha. She is in dire need of a cage cleaning today. She's about 6 feet long. She's about 5 years old. She is a little on the moodier side. We've only had her for a couple of weeks now, and she's still, you know, learning who we are and that we're totally safe. And like David said earlier, the hog islands tend to be a little bit more hot coming out of the box. So she might give you a show, she might not. Some days she hisses and some days she doesn't. So it's kind of hard to say what she'll do. Hi, baby girl. I normally tap the snakes on the head when I get them out, just to let them know. No biting allowed, no striking allowed. As you can see, she is hissing a little bit. She let out a puff, but she's calmed down. I like this snake a lot. She changes color just about every day. Yesterday she was a beautiful kind of creamy tan color with all the pink highlight on her sides. And today she's looking a little darker. I guess you could call it a purple phase. She's very violet, very brown, nice sparkling, but I mean, I love these pink spots on her sides. And she's a pretty good snake. Sometimes she can be a pistol, but she hasn't really given us any problems at all.
Okay, so you guys have seen Padruga. My wife told you a little bit about her. You know, she wanted to sit in on this one. This is one of her favorite snakes. We're going to go ahead and put her away. A little bit more about these cages. These are 14 or 15-year-old Neodesha cages. They are slant front. They're 2 feet deep by 4 foot long. They're about 2 foot high. These are heated with a piece of flex watt on 1/3 of the cage here on the left side. The rack, I'm not 100% sure. I think this rack was a custom build to fit these cages. I don't know about that. I bought these from a friend of mine named Jim at Southwest Wisconsin Reptiles right here in Wisconsin. So we've had these for over a year now, and I think that the rack might have been set up by him. So that's a little bit about these cages, and if anybody is interested, Neodesha is actually producing cages again. I don't know if they're exactly this design. I haven't had the opportunity to look at them yet, but I do know they are the same type, or I do believe that they are the same type of fiberglass material that these cages are made out of. So let me go ahead and get her away. This snake is really, really small. This is a Nicaraguan female, and when we were looking for a couple of these, we tried to find really small ones with really small parents and grandparents. And this girl here, she eats very good. Her feeding was a little bit shaky at the beginning. Her feeding response is a little bit shaky at the beginning, but she has became a really good eater. And she is in shed right now. That's why she's so dark. She's really pink on the belly. Her eyes are actually blue, so she'd probably prefer not to be messed with. But this snake right here is 2 years old, maybe even a little older. And that's just some size difference, you know, you can find in some of these localities. And I really like the Nicaraguans. This is a fun little snake. She's very inquisitive. She's very good tempered. She's very nice. Like I said, she'd probably prefer not to be messed with right now, but I did want to show her off just for a few minutes. So that's just some difference in size locality. This is a well-fed snake that's, you know, over 2 years old. And this is Rose. And she probably wants to go back under her paper where she was. Carnival. He's a mutt. This snake is half Nicaraguan, half Colombian, and is 100% het anery. And this is a male here. I don't know how much of those colors you'll be able to get, but he is just amazingly colorful. This snake is almost 4 years old. This little guy here is almost 4 years old. And like I said, he's half Nicaraguan, half Colombian, and het aneryistic. So I do, once again, to show you some size difference, you know, versus other males that we have here that are, you know, 30 pounds and 7 feet long at his age. So this is almost a 4-year-old snake. He also is well fed. He eats quite a bit, and I'm sure he would even reproduce for us. But he is a very colorful, very light snake. Changes colors quite a bit. He actually looks pretty good right now. I saw him last night, and I was hoping he was still going to look this good because I wanted to show everybody him today. Oh, let me go. There you go. So that is Carnival.